Finish him. Or her?
Welcome. And today we'll dive into a couple of great pro-revenge stories and their reactions. Coming up we have: Hey, can you fix my daughter's laptop for free? Multiple times. Then, wasted a scammer's afternoon and gas money. Using a fake Facebook account for insulting me weeks earlier. I just know you will like these stories, so this should be a fun story session. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. I do respond to every single one, so don't be shy. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some deep-seated revenge. Runter 1980 posted: Hey, can you fix my daughter's laptop for free? Multiple times. I feel this immoral pro-revenge, but if mods and others don't agree, please feel free to remove it. A bit of backstory / personal beliefs: I'm willing to help my friends. But we all know someone who has or have themselves a friend who is the group mooch. The kind of person who knows you're getting together and just shows up nothing in hand. And expects to be given free food and booze the entire time. Yet sadly you put up with them till it gets to the breaking point of wanting to beat them senseless with a shovel. This story is about said friend whom I finally got to the breaking point with. My moocher friend isn't tech savvy, like at all. He has zero respect for tech and constantly uses me as his go-to-man when stuff goes sideways. Almost always is doing. This is from the olden days of Windows 8 being a fresh hot mess that was the next big thing everyone hated. Because it took the standard Windows interface. Beat it over the head with a bat, toss the bloody corpse into a wood chipper. Then proceeded to light the remaining slurry on fire with military-grade napalm. I hate Windows 8 in case you didn't pick up on that. He had recently bought a laptop for his daughter since she was starting to need it for school. And he wanted a mobile PC to use when he felt like it. Pretty sure he just wanted it for himself but needed to convince the wife to okay the expense. Instead of asking me for input. He decided he was just going to go to Big Blue Multi-Story. And buy cheapest laptop model that rhymes with hell. It took less than a day of him fighting with it to call me ask if I'd put Windows 7 on it. Because he hated Windows 8. I asked why not return it and get a Windows 7 model. To which he responded, Big Blue doesn't have any Windows 7, only 8. And my daughter really needs this computer. Sure she does. I agree, and he drops it off within an hour. I should note that this happened just after Windows 8 dropped. And there was no classic shell programs out that simply said, F off new piece of poop tablet design, we're using the old one everyone knows and can use. So my options were limited. Did an initial look at what I was getting myself into. And lucky me. Hell had only put out drivers for Windows 8 for this model. Yay! I do about 6 hours worth of hunting, downloading, tweaking drivers. Praying and cursing the tech gods as I installed Windows 7. I had to cherry pick working drivers for most of the hardware. The rest I got to work through sheer trial and error. I made a restore disk. Backed up and labeled every driver for this system in individual numbered folders. In case I needed to redo anything on this piece of poop. My friend is notorious for effing up his computer's operating system. I give him a ring and let him know it's good to go, and he picks it up the next day. Less than 2 weeks later he texts saying something's wrong with it. It won't do blah blah blah, or I can't get it to do what I want. Shocking, I know. I just restore from the disk I made and give it back same day. Let's see how long this lasts. Almost a week later, same thing. Again a quick restore and I give it back. This time it took almost a whole 3 weeks till I got a text. Now I'm peed, what the heck is he doing to this thing to F up the operating system? I finally took the time to look at the system and see what the heck was going on. He had a bunch of cracked games downloaded and was trying to run those. A bunch of virus and malware on it. Oh, and a bunch of shady porn sites in his browser history. I'm livid. The only reason I kept fixing this damn thing was because it was supposed to be his daughter's. I got a hold of his wife to see exactly who was really using the laptop and for what. Turns out he told her it was having issues, and he was constantly trying to fix it at home. And even took it to work to mess around with it when he had time. He was a manager at a hut that sells pizza. He's one of those real hands-on managers who let everyone know what needs to be done. Then F off in the office. So I get the evil idea of fixing things my way. My first step to fixing things my way was to make an admin account that only I had the info for, and limit the other account to a limited user. When I talked to his wife, I got a good idea of what his daughter really liked as far as shows, games, etc. I then proceed to pimp this laptop out for a 10-year-old girl. My Little Pony wallpapers, about 100 on rotate. The entire My Little Pony cartoon show stored directly on the computer, Bratz, Barbie, the works. I even redid the icons to a My Little Pony theme and tweaked the user interface to be pink and purple colored. I made sure there was a parental lock on the browsers to prevent anything porn related from even showing up on the laptop. I installed TeamViewer and locked in my personal credentials so I could get on anytime I needed. And just for good measure, I installed a handy program called Deep Freeze. For those unfamiliar with it, it snapshots the drive as is and restores the drive to that exact image every time the power cycles. Only downside to this program is you lose anything you save on the computer when the power cycles. Not a problem since I had gotten a bulk pack of thumb drives that were multicolored and came with lanyards. I even went a step above and beyond and got a My Little Pony skin for the laptop lid in case he thought of taking it to work again. I personally delivered the laptop this time when the wife and daughter were home. The girly high-pitched squeals of joy that nearly ruptured my eardrums made it all worth it. She went off on a joy-induced tirade as I show her and her mom everything I did, including all the shows and games I put on just for her. I then gave her a bright pink thumb drive with purple lanyard, and explained that when she wanted to play the games or save anything, the drive needed to be plugged in. I set the safe path for all the games to the thumb drive, and added a shortcut to the drive itself on the desktop to make sure she wouldn't lose any school work she was doing. I made sure both her and her mom knew the thumb drive had to plugged in, otherwise things wouldn't be saved. I didn't mention the parental lock I set up or deep freeze. I wanted it to be a surprise for my friend later. Both her and her mom thanked me. I got a big hug from the daughter, who was still flying around on cloud 9. She was begging her mom to watch My Little Pony with her before I even left. I knew it was only a matter of time till I got an angry text or call from my friend. As soon as he got a chance to use the laptop, I was waiting with gleeful anticipation. I had dropped the laptop off on Monday, and I knew he wouldn't get a chance to use it till Friday when he got back from a trip he took. Cut to Friday night and I get a call around 8 p.m., which I ignore and let go to voicemail. I get 3 more calls every 5 to 10 minutes, which I also ignore. Then I get a bunch of texts which I ignored till about 11 p.m. when I figured he had ample time to try and F with the laptop to only be shut down at every attempt. I call him up with an especially snarky attitude, acting half asleep just to pee him off. "Mooch, finally, where the F have you been? I tried calling you and texting but you never responded." "Me, yeah, I had a long day so I took an evening nap. What's up?" "Mooch, what's up? This piece of poop laptop is busted, that's what's up. I can't get anything to work right. I downloaded a game and tried installing it, but it says I don't have admin rights. I restarted it and the game files were gone completely, so I re-downloaded it but still couldn't install it. It's not even letting me browse the web. I thought you fixed this. What the hell?" "Me, calm down, I'm sure it's something simple. Let me remote in." "Mooch, wait, you can do that?" "Me, yeah, I got sick of having to have it dropped off, so I installed remote software. Let's see. First thing I do is remotely restart the system." "Mooch, it did it again." "Me, what?" "Mooch, the game I downloaded is gone from the desktop." "Me, oh yeah, I put software on the laptop that restores it to a default setting. Anything not saved on an external drive gets removed." "I gave your wife and daughter a thumb drive. Didn't they tell you it was needed?" "Mooch, no. What the heck? Why'd you do a stupid thing like that?" "Me, well, I've had to fix this thing 3 times already. And I got sick of it, so I made sure anything you downloaded or tried to install would be deleted and blocked." "You don't have admin rights." "I do. Last time there was over a dozen viruses and malware from your games. And the games you were trying to run would barely run on this laptop even if you had legit versions." "Mooch, what the F?" Insert 15-minute rant I didn't pay any attention to. "Because I don't care." "Well, why won't it let me browse the web?" "Me, are you sure? Let's see." I bring up Google and start browsing standard sites. Hit a few cartoon sites I favorited for his daughter. Everything looks fine to me. Could you be referring to the porn sites that were in the browser history on your daughter's laptop? Mooch. Yeah, I thought so. See, being the upstanding guy I am, I turned on parental controls to keep web browsing safe for your 10-year-old daughter. The F is wrong with you? Mooch. But. Me. No buts. It took a lot of work to get this thing working for your daughter's sake. And then you use it as your personal play toy, which I had to fix 3 times. I'm done with your BS. I made it so your daughter can use her laptop when and how she needs. If you want to get your own laptop and F it up beyond repair, that's fine by me. No more freebies if you have something up being in dimwit. If you think this is unfair, I'd be more than happy to let your wife know exactly what the issue with the laptop was, including screenshots of your browsing history. I don't mind helping, but you go above and beyond being a mooch a lot of times. Anything else you need help with? Mooch, no. Me, have a great weekend. Click. Having spent over 18 years in customer service and tech support, so I went a bit nuclear on him. But I had had enough of his poop. Reminded me of all too many times the problem isn't the hardware or software. It's the meat puppet smashing their face against the keyboard. And wondering why stuff doesn't work. So I simply removed that part of the equation. Amazingly enough, he didn't have any more issues with that laptop. Wonder why? Only time I was gotten a hold of was by his wife asking me to update some things and install some software the daughter needed for school, which I was more than happy to do. Too long didn't read. Friend uses me as personal tech monkey for his daughter's laptop he keeps breaking doing shady stuff on. So I pimp it out in girly shows, games, and themes and completely lock it down so he can't change anything without me doing it. He biatches me out and I proceed to drop a bomb on him. What are your thoughts on Runter 1980's story? Please share in the comments below. Here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Ashara Light reacted with, "This was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Wasn't sure if it fit, but hopefully it stays. His daughter is such a sweetheart. Still remember her face when I pulled it out and there was the My Little Pony crew all on the cover. Amazed my ears weren't bleeding by the time I left." Warden21 reacted with, "Wowza. Well done. I'm usually the friend who needs tech support. But I'm also the guy who buys pizza, beer, or otherwise asks what they'd like as fair exchange, usually legal advice when needed. I can't imagine giving a laptop in that state of disrepair to a friend and asking them to fix it with a straight face." Gushi Time reacted with, "Best thing I learned from my years as a computer repair technician. Pebcac. Problem exists between keyboard and chair." What a bunch of great reactions. Now on to the next story posted by Mediocre Fisherman. Who posted, "Wasted a scammer's afternoon and gas money using a fake Facebook account for insulting me weeks earlier. Back in September I went to look at a pair of moose antlers on Facebook Marketplace that my dad was interested in. He lives in a small cabin on my property. And thought the antlers would look cool over his front door. We get there, and the dude is clearly high on coke. Jittery, keeps wiping his nose, etc. We met him at a storage rental place, so he had to let us in with his code. And we were stuck in the facility until he let us back out. We get to his rental unit and he gets the antlers out. They were very clearly fake. He'd said he'd spray painted them brown to make them look like they were still in velvet. It was obvious he'd sprayed them to try to make them look real. The weight was off, the color was off. There were several large cracks in them and you could see they were white inside, not bone colored. There were also several points broken off and the material inside was white and powdery, again not bone. He kept insisting they could be fixed with some epoxy. Finally, tapping your fingers on them made a drum noise, so they were hollow inside. At this point, I hadn't said a word at all. I was just along for the ride with my dad. Dad politely tells the guy that we're going to pass. He thinks they are fake, thanks but no thanks. This guy goes off the deep end, screaming at us, calling us all sorts of names, insulting us, our mothers, etc. Then he starts screaming at us that we were locked in there with him and weren't leaving until he was ready to go. Dad and I get in the truck, and luckily another customer was coming into their unit, and we were able to get out of the locked gate when they came in. We both thought it was hilarious, how off the wall this guy acted, and how fake the antlers looked in person. I stew on this for a few weeks and finally come up with a revenge plan. I didn't say a single word to the guy and he insulted my entire family tree, wife, intelligence, etc. I create a new Facebook account with the dumbest old person name I could come up with. Then, I use a bunch of Hide the Pain Harold photos to populate it with. Then start adding as many friends as I can, posting dumb crap about old black and white movies, my prostate, etc. Spent a few days craploading this account as much as I could. Then, once the account was 2 weeks old and I could get on Facebook groups, I go to a few of the groups I knew this guy was on, and find some of his items he had for sale. Luckily, he had 2 large bookcases for sale. Great, something big and awkward to move around. Next, I do some research and find the most pain in the butt location in my city to get to. I pick a place that has no highway on-ramp, so it takes at least half an hour to get to it off the highway. I message him, and I ask if he would deliver since I only have a sedan. And he says yes. For $50 to cover his gas and a helper. Because they would take 2 people to move around. We set up a date and time, and I tell him I'm going to meet him at a nearby grocery store. Since my house is hard to find. Finally, the time arrives. He messages me that he is at the grocery store. Now I come up with every annoying old person slow thing I can think of. I'm putting my shoes on. My wife is in the shower and I can't leave in case she slips, then oh, we've not gone anywhere in so long because of this China virus, my car battery is dead. Mr. Scammer finally asks for my address and says he will find the place. I get on Google Maps and find the most pain in the butt street to get to, knowing he's driving a full-size van and towing a trailer with the bookshelves. So I find a street in the very center of a old badly laid out neighborhood, got on Street View, and look for where the house numbers stop, and pick a number a few above that one. I test it in Google Maps. And Google Maps isn't smart enough to know that house number doesn't exist. It just points you at the end of the dead-end street. So I relay this address. Of course I make sure to mess it up a few times and get him lost in the process. After about 90 minutes he messages that he can't find that house number but he's on my street. Can I please come outside? I reply back with no thanks. Him. No thanks, what? Me. I walked out there and saw them, not interested in buying. My Facebook account blows up for the next hour with him trying to call me, video chat. Sending all kinds of horrible messages about how I'm a liar and a cheater. I never respond back. I check it occasionally and about every 2 weeks he sends me a nasty message still. Dude had no idea who it was that messed with him, or why it happened. I'm kind of debating about doing it again. What are your thoughts on mediocre fisherman's story? Please share in the comments below. Here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Computant2 reacted with: when he refused to let you leave the storage area, he committed the crime of unlawful detainment. Basically the misdemeanor version of kidnapping. It is probably too late to really do anything about it. But you could report it to the police and ask if they could send an officer to his place sometime. To explain why he can't do that. I'm sure he wouldn't panic and flush his drugs down the toilet when he saw a cop at the door. J100S5H4 reacted with: poor Hide the Pain Harold gonna be minding his business one day. And this junkie gonna see him and go off. PM's You Stuff reacted with: not being able to leave the building without inputting a code. This sounds like a massive fire code violation. What if someone gets stuck inside and can't open the gate hole, there's a fire? You should consider reporting the facility to the fire marshal. It could save someone's life. Atlantis Airlines reacted with: I'd say this was more petty revenge, except you drew it out enough that I'd accept pro. If I had to drive this much in the city for a fool's errand, I'd be fuming. Plus I walked out there and saw them not interested in buying. Is a pretty fantastic way to end things. Galactic Girl reacted with: help. This is too funny, and the way you're so nonchalant about it makes it even funnier. And finally, Anonymous reacted with: I'd totally do it again, but hide out at the locations and film this a-hole. Well, there you have it. A perfectly great question answered by a bunch of fine and honorable citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off, thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. I think he found more drama for me to share with you. See you soon.